introduction. Good evening to all. Superintendent Phillips, Principal Lemire, faculty and staff, parents, grandparents, and friends, and finally those who we celebrate tonight, graduating 8th graders. Thank you for your invitation to me. I'm honored and pleased to be here on this stage tonight. First, a brief message to parents, teachers, and others. It is my intention to speak directly to the 18 8th graders graduating tonight. My brief message is just for them. You are welcome to listen if you choose. Thanks for your understanding. First, you will not be surprised. First, a Mr. Ayers to an amazing fact. If this were 1865, 147 years ago, the year of the end of the Civil War, would you, a graduate of the 8th grade in South Carroll, Vermont, be considered by your community to be a highly educated person? The answer is yes. With some studying, a test, and upon reaching the age of 16, you would be qualified to be a teacher in Vermont. In a one-room school, of course, and you would be in charge of 12 to 20 students, grades 1 through 8. This was the case of my great-grandmother's sister. She passed the test at age 16, and I have the document which congratulates her. Ladies and gentlemen of the 8th grade, you have a ways to go to be highly educated. But then, you know that. High school. High school. It doesn't matter which high school you attend next year. This coming school year is when life for you begins to get serious. As of September, your education is job one. Institutions of higher learning will be interested in your 9th grade grades, quite interested in your sophomore grades, and very interested in your junior and first semester senior grades. Do what you can to impress them. Study hard, read, participate in extracurricular activity or two, and keep on studying hard. The time is coming that with your grades, your essays, your activities, and your good recommendations from high school teachers, you as a senior, 4 years from now, you as a senior will try to convince a college or tech school or one of the armed forces, or the list of possibilities is almost endless. Convince them to say yes to you. And for this short while, it's all about you. Let me say again and stress, for a short while. Then once you have been accepted and have found your beyond high school niche, you will return to being your normal, humble, regular self. Okay, that was the introduction. Now let me get to the real important point. One thing to say in just a few paragraphs. I am proud of many things in my life, but there's one thing in particular about my life that I would wish upon you. One thing that I have been fortunate enough to achieve that I would hope that you would also achieve. You all know that I'm old enough to be your grandfather. You all know that I'm a retired high school English teacher, that I taught at BHS for almost 40 years. I retired exactly 5 years ago. Standing here and thinking back on my years after college, all of them teaching years, I can honestly say to you that there is nothing that I wish I had done differently regarding my career. I did what I wanted to do. I was happy as a teacher, and I feel that I did my small part to make the world a better place. I have no regrets. None. None. Well, I wish I had never traded in that 1964 Corvair convertible Daytona blue with the white top and four on the floor. But I have no serious regrets. I wish for you the same. You will never remember this talk, but I wish that when you have a birthday that starts with a 7, that you can say, I have no regrets, I did what I wanted to do, I have no reason to look back, I made a difference, I had a great time being, fill in your own blank. If you can, far into your future, say that, you will, I guarantee, be a happy person. How are you going to do that? Here's the answer. You must be who you want to be. Somehow you have to figure out, discover, realize, understand who you are and how you are going to make the world a slightly better place. Maybe one of you already has an inkling as to who you want to be. Most of you at 13 and 14 don't have a clue yet. You'll figure it out, some sooner, some later, some way, someday. A couple of weeks ago, after I had been invited to speak to you, I was listening to National Public Radio News, no eye rolling please, and I heard the story of Rick Knapp. Last week, Mr. Knapp became the director of the National Hurricane Center. He is a top official in meteorology and hurricane awareness in the USA. He carries great responsibility and millions of people depend on what he has to say. He told this story. When he was 3, his family moved to southern Florida. A few years later, Hurricane David was heading toward the area where his family lived. He told that he was frightened out of his wits by the storm. Yet at the same time, he was absolutely fascinated by the meteorologist reporting to the public via television. He said that even as he hunkered down in a bathtub unit with his family, it became clear to him that he wanted to be a person who knows about hurricanes and reports on them to the public. He said that the worst of the storm missed his family home, but from that day forward, he knew that he wanted to, what he wanted to be, and that he never looked back. Though he was very young, he found what he wanted to be. Here's a different story. A high school friend of mine who lives in South Carolina has a daughter who is in her early 40s. The woman has a college degree, and she has lived in many places both in the USA and outside the USA. She is fluent in Portuguese, is trained in counseling, yet has never really been doing what made her happy. She always seemed restless, never settled down. Finally, she left everything behind, and 2 weeks ago, began a physician's assistant program at a college in Connecticut. Both her parents are in the medical field, and it took her 20 years to finally figure out that she wants to be in medicine also. Not quite like her parents, but nonetheless one who helps others, one who will make a small difference in the world. In the middle of a Mr. Ray's True and Amazing Fact quiz, if I said, who is Frank Sinatra? I imagine there's one of you who would correctly say to me that he was a famous singer. Your parents know who he was. Your grandparents have heard his music and have seen him on television and in movies. Your great-grandmother may have stood in line and screamed her love to him because at one time he was a teen idol. In reality, the Bieber of his day. Well, he is famous for many songs, but one of the best-known ones is titled, I've Gotta Be Me. And part of the lyrics go like this. I want to live, not merely survive. And I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me, I gotta be me. The dream that I see makes me what I am. That faraway prize, a world of success, is waiting for me if I heed the call. I won't settle down, won't settle for less. Ladies and gentlemen of the 8th grade class, you need to heed the call. You must be who you want to be. You gotta be you. Here's what I suggest you do about the answer to this important question. You need to put up an invisible antenna. And as you go through your schooling and your jobs and your community service, keep yourself tuned into that which might be a possibility for you. Never say no to an opportunity to learn something new about the human condition. Keep up the habit of having a book with you at all times and read about our world and its people. Talk to people who have been places and have seen things you have not yet seen. Say yes to new positive experiences. When you have achieved a bit more independence, travel this country. And if you can, travel the world. Watch what other people do. Ask questions. Take courses that expand your horizons. Keep your mind open and don't be afraid of taking a risk. Someone gives you a ticket to see the opera. Don't reject it because you think opera is totally lame. Go see why some people like opera. Maybe for you it's not the singing, but the elaborate, beautiful sets or the costumes that knock your socks off. Someone offers you a summer job with a slightly less pay and slightly more responsibility in an area that has appeal. Go for it. Someone says, let's do a semester at a university in Switzerland. If you can afford it, get some hiking boots and a new snowboard and get in line at Swiss Air. If you need a semester off, volunteer to build houses for Habitat for Humanity or volunteer at a quality center in the Appalachians. You would learn as much doing that as you would during a college semester. The best part is that you would learn about yourself too. As you grow physically and mentally, ladies and gentlemen, get out of here and into your world. Make a difference, big or small. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen of the 8th grade class, do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. You gotta be you. Thank you very much.
Staff and the audience to join us in the very ending of the song, and I think you'll figure out what that is.
Hey, Keisha, stay up on stage. You were made to shine so brightly. And Paul, you'll travel dances, a little